Hey everyone, Ryan here with Tech. Today I'm going to go over some binary math with you, which you're going to use in the subnetting process, and you're going to need to become really quick and accurate both in the binary and in the subnetting overall in order to be successful in your Cisco exams. Ugh, math, I know, right? Well, it's not that bad, I promise. Math was never my thing in school, and I've become really good with the binary. It's fairly straightforward and it's not all that complicated once you get into it. And I promise you it will not look anything like what I have on the screen here. So, that said, future videos are going to cover the rest of the subnetting process. They're not all going to come one right after the other in order, though. I don't want to bore you with all the subnetting and math all at once. I want to get into the command line, cover some topics that are a little more fun, more hands-on, and we'll sprinkle the subnetting in throughout that until we've covered all of it. And this video, the way it's going to be set up, I'm going to give you some tools and tricks to get through the binary. I will set up and work through a few examples with you, and then I will set a couple examples up that you can pause and work through yourself. Unpause, we'll work through them together. You can take a look, see how you did, and decide from there if you need to go over any of the material again or if you have mastered it. Okay, so first I want to talk a little bit about what exactly is binary. Binary is a base 2 numbering system, which means that we can represent each digit in one of two ways. Base 2, two ways. We can, in the case of binary, we can either represent a digit with a 0 or with a 1. See, I told you this would be easy. 0 is off, 1 is on. Now those are going to correspond to different values depending on how long the actual binary string is. What does that mean? Well, in our case, for IPv4 subnetting, the IP addresses and the subnet masks are made up of 32 bits broken down into 4 octets, which are each 8 bits in length. So each of those is going to be 8 binary digits. Each binary number or each binary digit is 1 bit. So 8 of those per octet gives us our 8 bits for a total of 32 in the entire address or subnet. Okay, so now that we have that foundation laid, we can get into the real substance of this video, which is going to be how we can represent decimal numbers with binary strings and how we can convert back and forth between the two. Let's dive in. Before we begin the examples, let's set up the one tool we're going to use over and over again each time we work through an example or a calculation in the real world. That's going to be the 2 power table, but it's going to be reversed. So it's going to run high numbers on the left to lower numbers on the right. So starting from the left, we're going to start with 2 to the power of 7. That's going to be the highest we need to go for the binary. 2 to the power of 7, and then it's going to go down to the right all the way to 2 to the power of 0. So starting at the left, 2 to the power of 7 is going to give us 128. 2 to the power of 6 is going to give us 64. 2 to the power of 5 is going to give us 32. 2 to the power of 4 is going to give us 16. 2 to the power of 3 is going to give us 8. 2 to the power of 2 is going to give us 4. 2 to the power of 1 is going to give us 2. And 2 to the power of 0 is going to give us 1. Okay, so let's start with 2 easy and straightforward examples, and then we'll move on from those. For the first example, I'm going to give you the decimal, and we're going to convert it to the binary. And the number I'm going to give is 128. So if we look at our binary bits here, 128 is on, or 1. 64 is off or 0. 32 is off. 16 is off or 0. 8 is 0. 4 is 0. 2 is 0. 1 is 0. So that's it, 128. The only thing we need is for the bit for 128 to be on. For the second example, I'm going to give you the binary and we're going to convert it to the decimal. So I'm going to give you 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So in that case, 128 is off, 64 is off, 32 is on, 16 is off, 8 is off, 4 is off, 2 is off, and 1 is off. So the decimal for that is 32. That was the only one that was on. And let's look at another fairly common one. I'll give you the decimal for this one, so I'm going to give 172. So for that, we're going to have 128 is on, 64 is off, 32 is on, 16 is off, 8 is on, 4 is on, 2 is off, and 1 is off, 172. So by now you can see that all we're really doing here is taking a set of 8 bits, which correspond to the powers of 2, and turning them on or off in a sequence that gives us the final decimal value that we're looking for. So to do a complete IP address or subnet mask, we just do this 4 times in the case of IPv4. We break each octet down into its own set of 8 bits, and then we do the math for each individual octet. So let's take a look at an example doing it that way. So for this example, I'm again going to give the decimal, this time a complete IPv4 address, and we'll work out the binary together. So the IP address I'm going to give in decimal is going to be 10.37.5.49. So we'll start with the first octet. We have 10. So we're going to have in binary, 128 is going to be 0 or off, 64 is off, 32 is off, 16 is off, 8 is 1 or on, 4 is off, 2 is on, and 1 is off. And the second octet is going to be a completely new set of 8 binary bits. We have 37, so we're going to have 128 is off, 64 is off, 32 is on, 16 is off, 8 is off, 4 is on, 2 is off, and 1 is on. And again, in the third octet, brand new set of 8 bits, we have decimal number 5. We're going to have 128 is off, 64 is off, 32 is off, 16 is off, 8 is off, 4 is on, 2 is off, and 1 is on. And in the last octet, the fourth octet, in decimal we had 49. We're going to have 128 is off, 64 is off, 32 is on, 16 is on, 8 is off, 4 is off, 2 is off, and 1 is on or 1. Okay, so I feel pretty confident that you guys have a good grasp on this and are ready to try one on your own. So I'm going to give you an IPv4 address in decimal, and I'd like you to pause the video, work out the binary, open up Notepad, scrap paper, whatever you need to do, and then once you've come up with your answer, unpause it and see how you did. So I'm going to give you 31.12.68.129, and go ahead and pause and work through that. Alright, so let's see how you did. For the first octet, I gave you 31. You should have gotten 00, 01, 11, 11, For the second octet, I gave you 12. You should have gotten 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. The third octet, I gave you 68. You should have gotten 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. And for the fourth octet, I gave you 129. You should have come up with 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. So how'd you do? Do you think you're ready for another one? Let's do one more, and for this one I will give you the binary, and I'd like you to convert it back to the decimal. And again, pause the video, work through it, and then unpause and we'll see how you did. So for this last example, the binary, it's again going to be a full IPv4 address. The first octet in binary is 11000000. The second octet is 10101000. The third octet is 01101110. And the fourth octet is 00001011. So go ahead and pause, work through that, work it back towards the decimal, and then unpause and we'll see how you did. Okay, so for that, you should have gotten the first octet was 192. The second octet was 168. The third octet was 110. And the fourth octet was 11. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something if you're new to this, or hopefully it reinforced what you already know if you've been doing this for a while. And I'd like to ask that you subscribe to the YouTube channel here. You can also like on Facebook. It's facebook.com/ayres, AYARES, .tech, TECH. And between the two, I'm going to keep updates coming out about new videos, interesting articles related to Cisco and probably some other technology. And the next video may or may not be subnetting related. I have some other videos in mind, but eventually I will get more subnetting related videos up here if that's something you've struggled with. So again, I hope you enjoyed, and I appreciate your time to watch it here.